boy Zion Hezekiah, a.k.a. Hez, here with some NBA talk. I have Abriella, Sammy to my left. We got Justen Williams to my right, and we're going to talk some NBA basketball. What's going on, guys?
How are you?
Living the dream.
We're great. Let's get right to it. So, guys, here we are right now. Most teams in the National Basketball Association have about 25 games left in the season. So this is obviously the stretch run leading up to the playoffs. So what we're going to do a little thing called Contenders versus Pretenders, or if you want to say Pretenders versus Contenders. So we're going to look at the top 10 teams in the NBA as far as the overall standings go, and we'll kind of break it down. Is this team for real? Are they a contender, a legitimate championship contender, or are they a pretender? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 4 teams and just right off the bat, we're going to declare them contenders. And I hope we're all on the same page here. So I have the Bucks. Obviously, they're in first place overall in the league. They've been totally dominating. The Bucks, the Lakers, even though the Clippers are 6th in, I believe they have the 6th best record overall in the NBA. I don't think any of us would consider the LA Clippers a pretender. They're a legit contender, regardless of how they've been playing this season. And we got to show love to the hometown Toronto Raptors. I know there's a lot of people out there, particularly those south of the border, who don't necessarily consider the Raptors legitimate contenders because of the fact that maybe, Kawhi left, they don't have a legit superstar, this, that, and the other. Are we all on this panel, guys, in agreement before we move forward that the Toronto Raptors are legitimate contenders? Not just in the East, but just legitimate contenders to win a chip. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there. And listen, guys, this is coming from me, and I'm not even a Raptor fan, and you guys know that, and I'm giving them some love. I think the Raptors are for real. I think they're legit contenders. So immediately we're going to take the Bucks, Lakers, Clippers, Raptors off the board. So we're going to look at the Celtics, Nuggets, Rockets, Heat, Jazz, and the Philadelphia 76ers. So let's begin with the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, who at the time of this recording, they're 23-5 at home, 16-12 on the road. They have the 3rd best record overall in the NBA. Let me begin with you, Justen. The Boston Celtics, obviously they're a bit undersized. They don't necessarily have that dominant big man that you can kick in. Jason Tatum has been an absolute beast over the last probably 10, 15 games, taking his game to another level. He kind of has that Kobe-esque in him,
right?
That kind of Mamba mentality. I can see a lot of comparisons. But what are your thoughts? The Boston Celtics, are they a contender or are they a pretender?
See, when you told me this, I think they are contenders right now. Okay. And I think they can continue this path and they will continue to be a contender. They seem to be having this chemistry. Everything seems to be clicking right now. They are almost like a mini version of the Raptors where there is no like one dominant real superstar, but there is just sporadic little pockets of greatness. And I feel like for me personally, they can be a contender.
So they're contenders. Abriella.
That's a great answer. I've been thinking about this a lot, actually, because there's a really interesting bet right now. If you bet like the Celtics and Houston Rockets to be in the finals, the return is like
through the roof.
Massive, yeah.
You heard it here first.
I've been thinking about it.
And that would be an interesting matchup, wouldn't it?
But when it comes down to it, I just I agree with everything you just said.
However,
I just don't think they have what it takes, so I'm going to say pretender.
And I would agree with you 100%, Abriella. I just think that they're not deep enough. They don't have enough depth, and I think their lack of size, and also just from an experience standpoint. Yes, last year they did go. Actually, I believe it was 2 years ago without Kyrie when they went to the conference finals. Obviously, last year was the Bucks and the Raps. So they do have some experience under the belts. I just don't think they have enough. I still think that they are a little young, and I think that lack of depth and the lack of size. So I think they're a very interesting team. I think they will be a tough out in the Eastern Conference, Eastern Conference playoffs. But I don't necessarily see them, giving the Raptors or the Bucks any real scare. I don't consider them contenders either. All right, next, the Denver. I used to call them McNuggets, but now lately I've been putting some respect on their name, so they've been playing well. And guys, they started off the season very slow, got off to a real slow start. They're actually 15-9 so far in this year in 2020. Jokic, who, obviously is their star player, he obviously got off to a very, very slow start to the season. He's really picked it up over the last couple of months. Begin with you once again, Justen. The Denver Nuggets, contenders or pretenders?
I am so flattered. Just given the division they're playing in the Western side with the Lakers and the Clippers and holding their own for most of it, I feel like they are solid contenders.
Okay.
Right. Jokovic is on fire. He's doing his thing like he needs to do.
Okay.
And they do have a little bit of depth going on. Mm-hmm. Is it enough to make him to the NBA Finals? I don't think so. Okay. But they can probably get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Well, let's hope so.
Yes.
Abby.
I think they're contenders. It's hard being in the West. Like when it comes down to the Clippers and the Lakers, like it's, I don't know. I agree with what you're saying. Like, are they even going to get past the first round? I don't know. But I love watching them play. I think that they do have what it takes. And in terms of what you're saying about the slow start, there's a lot of teams that have a slow start this year. At a certain point, it felt like the Raptors were the only team I was watching that was actually playing and playing defense. So to that note, like I feel like they can be a threat.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, guys, we're a little short for time. Let's kind of keep our analysis to, 20, 30 seconds at the most. Real quick, I'll just chime in. The Denver McNuggets, I will call them that right now because I do not believe they're contenders. I just don't think that they have enough. I think they're very exciting. They're very flashy. I just think from a defensive standpoint, offensively, we know what they're all about. We know what they can do. Defensively, I just don't think that they have what it takes. And I just think that they need another year under their belts as far as, experience. And the West is very tough. Moving on, let's talk some small ball with the Houston Rockets. Let's begin with you, Abriella. We know that lately Russell Westbrook has been on fire. He's been super duper efficient. Do you trust the Houston Rockets with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and that whole small ball? Do you trust them in the playoffs? Pretenders or contenders?
They are contenders for me. This is an unpopular opinion, but I am a huge Westbrook fan. And who knows what's going to happen, but I really want them to actually go to the finals.
Okay, so you're banking on that. Okay.
I'm a big fan of that.
Even though both of their star players are notorious for having amazing regular seasons and both wetting the bed in the playoffs, and now they're teaming up, they're both on the same team. You trust them both together to figure it out. Once again, playing small ball without a dominant big man, taking all those threes, all those jump shots. You trust the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge gamble, but I really want to see it actually finally pan out.
So you're speaking it into existence
because it's like every time, like when like OKC days, I'm like, this can work, it can work, right. And then it didn't
until they get eliminated.
I really want to see it work.
In the first round, which Russell Westbrook has been used to the last few years. Pretenders or contenders? Houston Rockets, Jay.
You know what? I kind of want to say they're also contenders, but only if they can keep the dynamic of not so much ball hogging. Because Ben, what's his face, the 3-point god for them, who's shooting 39.4, Ben McLemore or whatever his name is.
McLemore, yeah.
He's shooting 39.4% threes. And if those three can get it together where Harden and Westbrook attract the defense and then your boys out there.
They have a whole bunch of guys that can shoot threes. I mean, that's what their offensive scheme is predicated on.
It's been a while since the Miami Heat have announced their presence, but they are back thanks to Pat Riley.
The Miami Heat have been an absolute dominant team at home. They totally wet the bed on the road. For whatever reason, they just can't win their games on the road. Are they a pretender or a contender?
To me, they are a pretender. They are a threat. I do know that, and they made some moves at the trade deadline that made me a little bit concerned. But to me, they just, again, they don't have what it takes.
Right. Pretenders as well. They're inconsistent as sin. They can do well at home and not on the road, as you were saying earlier. But, as it goes for most things, unless you have home court advantage, you're still going to play split, right? And it's going to go to 7, and home court will give you to the home.
Ultimately,
7.
I just think they don't have enough experience. A lot of young guys, and I have issues with them offensively. I think they're very, very well coached, extremely well coached. And obviously Jimmy Butler, we know what he's all about. He is big time, but they just don't have enough. And I don't see them battling with, the big boys in the Eastern Conference, the Raps and the Bucks. 2 more guys, the Utah Jazz, Justen. They're a great defensive team. Obviously they got the big guy there in the middle. What are your thoughts? Utah Jazz, pretenders, contenders?
100% pretenders.
Okay, 100%, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're not going to, they make it close, but I don't see them ever crossing that threshold right now.
Well, they did lose to the Suns by 20 points last night at home to take their loss streak to 3 in a row, making me lose my money on one of my parlays. But
could tell you how to bet on that.
Oh boy, okay. Yeah, I know.
We can talk about it.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about that. Abriella.
I agree, 100% pretenders. It's not that they're not playing good besides yesterday, but when it comes down to it, who are they going to beat? like in a playoff situation.
Right,
like
right.
I don't think they can.
Right. Yeah, they're an exciting team to watch play. Good young up and coming team. But yeah, we're all in agreement. Last but not least, guys, the Philadelphia 76ers. So it was just recently announced that Ben Simmons, of course, he's out indefinitely. He has that back issue. Yeah. Just similar to the Miami Heat, the 76ers are an absolute dominant team at home. For whatever reason, they cannot win on the road. And then now you have, likely your number 2 player, if you want to say that Embiid's their number 1, who's out indefinitely. We don't even know if he's going to be available in the playoffs. As it stands right now, what are your thoughts, Justen? Philadelphia?
Pretenders for sure. Like, if the Heat are inconsistent, Philadelphia wrote the book on how to be inconsistent.
Okay, right on. And
just handed them the manual and was like, here.
Could not agree more, yep.
I mean, you're not going to get very far if Joel Embiid's putting up 0 points.
Sure. Well, it happened that one game, but yeah, no, you're right. They've been super duper inconsistent.
But it should have happened 0 times if he's leading that team.
Well, that is true. Didn't Kyle Lowry have 0 points in a game once as well?
Yeah, but I don't like Kyle.
Was that no? Hey! No shade at Kyle Lowry, the Bulldog. But what are your thoughts?
You brought it up.
I know. 76ers.
Yeah, to me, pretenders, especially
So even with a healthy Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but I just don't see them beating us or the Bucks.
Right.
So like when you put it that way, like that's what it is.
So you see Embiid crying once again in the playoffs, like what the Raptors did
when it comes
year.
down to it, like I don't even see the competition there, personally.
All right. So guys, we'll leave it there. As we said from the top 4 teams that we all agree on, the Bucks, Lakers, Clippers, Raptors, and there's a couple other teams in the mix that we agree with. We'll see what happens. Once again, this is the stretch run. Each of the teams have approximately 25, 26 games left in the season. Should be a lot of fun. NBA basketball, we love it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Toronto Talk Sports and more.
Thank you for watching. Please click the like button and leave us a comment with your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications to see more engaging and interactive content. Toronto Talk Sports and more. For the love of the Six, let's connect.